Hello, welcome to the Premise Podcast. We have a very special episode for you this week. As some of you may know, based on seeing my face in my bedroom, that this one is on YouTube. So you can listen to this episode wherever podcasts are found, or you can watch it, if you so please, on YouTube. That's pretty cool. And so we have a great group of actors to join us for the Public Domain Theater Podcast. This is a podcast where every week we have play adapted from a book from the public domain. You know about the public domain. It means we don't have to pay for this material, and we also don't have to come up with original material on our own. But we definitely put our own spin on it. I adapted 3 works of great literature. These are the kind of books where you Google the book and the first thing that pops up is the PDF. Like, these are very free. So that is the podcast today. If you're listening and you'd rather watch it, then feel free to look it up on YouTube. If you're watching and you're saying, this man looks a little scraggly for me, could use a haircut, then hey, go find wherever podcasts are found. If that's your reason, you might need some help. I was watching Turner Classic Movies today, and they were talking about they were promoting a podcast, and they had to explain how to find podcasts. So, if you are looking at me and you think, this boy's a hippie, I'd rather just listen, I want you to open your phone, unlock it using either your fingerprint or by swiping up and using your face. Now, I want you to go to the App Store. That's the blue logo that has a protractor on it. Hit the search bar. That's the bar with a magnifying glass. Now type in with your fingers podcasts and just do whatever they give you. If you have an iPhone, Apple Podcasts work. If you have Spotify, or if your grandchildren have Spotify, then you can go on there and then just search the Premise Podcast. In all sincerity, I don't believe anyone over the age of 25 has ever even glanced at this podcast as of yet, except for Laura's been on the podcast several times and she's over 25. I won't say how much over, but she is over the age of 25. Now I want to get down to it because I'm very excited about this podcast, but first we have a word from our sponsor. The Premise Podcast is brought to you by the Watergate Hotel in Washington, D.C. The Watergate Hotel, it's still a hotel where you can stay at it. And on the homepage of the Watergate Hotel website, they address the elephant in the room right away. The elephant in the room being, can I rent a bicycle from the Watergate Hotel? The answer, of course, is yes. They have hotel bicycles. You can cycle around their historic DC neighborhood in one of their custom hotel bicycles. So, if that's all that was preventing you from staying at the Watergate Hotel, worry no more. Go book your night as soon as humanly possible. The Watergate Hotel, it's still a hotel where you can stay at. Now, without further ado, let's get to the Public Domain Theater Podcast. Katie, will you sing the Premise Podcast theme song for us?
The Premise Podcast.
Yeah.
Is it out of control or something?
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
It's the Premise Podcast, where every single one is a different show. Premise Podcast, every single episode is out of control.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Public Domain Theater Podcast. This is the podcast where every week we do a podcasted theater production of some book that we stole from the public domain. These are classics. And we have a wonderful group of actors here, so we can just go around and introduce everyone. My name is Bo Segrest. I'm the theater director, the online theater director. Some of my acting experience includes I was an extra in Stranger Things. I was massacred by one of the monsters, and they did not have CGI available that day, so they had to have a large man in a costume rip me to shreds on tape. Whoever wants to introduce themselves next can go.
Should we go clockwise? Do we all have the same clock?
I don't think so, but you're next on my clock, so you go.
Okay. Hi, I'm Steven Marcus. I also am an acclaimed actor. My last film was Citizen Kane. So it's been a few years out of the business for me. I'm happy to be back.
It's a shame you weren't in the other Orson Welles films. They might have done better.
Yeah, we had some issues over contract negotiation. But
yeah.
Part of the business.
You with the big hair, you go next.
Hello. My name is Anthony Furno. I graduated top of my class in Juilliard in 1998. You might have recognized me for such amazing films as Sing or Reservoir Dogs. I like to keep my films consistent in tone, and I feel like a lot of the readings we're doing today really play into that theme.
Yeah.
You with the earrings, you go next.
I'm Katie Corbin, and I've just finished my 40-book series on acting for dogs, and I'm trying to get it adapted for cats as well.
Who's your favorite dog actor? Who do you think is kind of the exemplary dog actor?
I think Lassie really sets the industry standard for all of us. Yeah, she's a little bit of an inspiration.
Do you do any works on Moose, the dog who plays Eddie in Frasier?
No.
What about parrots? Can you get a parrot to act?
We could make a deal here, Steven. I'll work with you on the parrot line.
I've got a few parrots. Could use some.
All right, Katie, if we could let our next actor go.
Hi, I'm Liz Stewart. I'm a professional in acting adaptations of classical books. My last film was the lesser-known Little Women 2018. And I think that's really where Greta Gerwig got a lot of her inspiration. I also played Jo, so Saoirse Ronan, you're welcome for that Oscar nomination.
She sued you, right? Didn't she sue you for that role?
Yeah, even though I did it before her.
Well, you know,
shame.
If you're connected to Noah Baumbach in this business, you're this is why everyone thinks Adam Driver's hot now, because he's connected to Noah Baumbach. Well, we can get started. Usually on this podcast we perform the plays, but we've done all of the plays that we had. We did our series on the Bible, our play that was just the Bible, right? We went through the whole thing. We focused on the lesser known stories like Deuteronomy and Leviticus. A lot of monologues in that act.
Really good narrative too.
Yeah. I think we lost people when we started doing the letters of Paul.
Snooze fest.
Yeah. But now we have some table reads. We're getting ready to do some new stuff.
That's right.
Keep those throats lubricated, actors. Today we have 3 table reads, all written by myself, Bo Segrest. Make sure you guys knew that, right? I wrote all these.
No, I thought you found them.
I found them and then wrote new versions.
Okay.
It's called an adaptation.
Oh,
it's an adaptation, as Greta Gerwig is known to do, like Frances Ha.
Yes.
You know, Planet of the Apes was adapted. The Martian.
Oh.
So our first play today, that we'll be doing a table read for, it's called A Christmas Carol minus the Singing. It's based on A Christmas Carol in prose being a story of Christmas, or A Christmas Carol. That's the full title. That's written by Charles Dickens, first published 1843, and it entered the public domain in 1978, much to our pleasure. So in this, Katie, you're going to be doing stage directions, scene directions. Steven, you're the narrator. I'll play the role of Ebenezer Scrooge. Anthony is Tiny Tim. Steven, you'll also be playing Jacob Marley. Katie, you'll also be playing the Ghost of Christmas Present. And then Liz, you'll be the Ghost of Christmas Past and another character called Gary. Cool. And so I'll hand it off to our scene direction person. This is A Christmas Carol minus the singing.
The narrator enters the stage and sits in a comfortable chair next to some milk and cookies. They are both steaming. We see Scrooge on stage. He is old and sleepy. The narrator opens a book but doesn't read it as he addresses the audience.
We now present you with a tale as old as time itself. First published in 1843, this book has been adapted into movies, plays, musicals, serials, as well as a very touching Looney Tunes special. I speak, of course, of that story about our most beloved holiday. This time of year, children gather around a campfire, munching nervously at their candies, and listen to the terrible tale of A Christmas Carol. Tonight, the story appears in its most pure form, slightly improvised theater. Our story begins with Ebenezer Scrooge.
Bah, humbug!
Just look at him. He's old, he's bitter, he's sleepy, and he's got what it takes to make it to the top in this town. His business partner, Jacob Marley, died many years ago. Now, Scrooge, for separate reasons, hates Christmas and will turn away any sickly young boys who have the audacity to request something from the old man.
Tiny Tim crutches his way over to Scrooge.
Can I request something from you, old man?
Bah!
I implore you. My name is Tiny Tim. I'm very tiny. Imagine the tiniest thing you can think of. That's me, baby. My Christmas wish is that you will make me big, like my dad, Big Bob.
Do you think I'm Santa? I'm Scrooge, you! Hey, what was your name again?
I'm Tiny Tim. A small man. A boy, really. I'm a small boy. I'm also sick. Very sick. I'm just a sick, very small, very sick, small child. Just look at my crutches.
Go away, please! Just for that, I won't give your dad, Big Bob, Christmas Day off work, because he works for me, Scrooge!
Tiny Tim mutters angrily to himself as he kicks at the dirt, hobbling away.
Scrooge is a mean old man. He hates Christmas as much as he hates it when other people also have money. Also, I forgot to mention that Scrooge is a very rich man, and that's why he is mean to Tiny Tim and Big Bob. Scrooge is very sleepy when, all of a sudden, he hears the clitter-clatter of chains and the sound of money, which is a cha-ching, and he smells the smell of a ghost.
Jacob Marley, ghost, creeps slowly onto the stage with his chains rattling behind him.
Ooh, I'm a ghost!
My old business partner, Jacob Marley, but you're dead!
Yeah, that's why I'm a ghost. Listen to me, Scrooge, buddy old pal. The reason why I have all these chains and the sound of money and I smell like a ghost is because I spent all my life trying to be a big shot rich guy. Now look at me. I have these chains around me. The sound of money, cha-ching, isn't even pleasing to my ears anymore. I smell like a ghost. For goodness sake.
Bah! You're a ghost because you died, not because you were trying to be a big shot rich guy, which is what I spent all of my life trying to do.
You will be visited by 3 spirits tonight. The ghost of Christmas past will visit you first, then the ghost of Christmas present, and then a 3rd ghost. His name escapes me at the moment.
But I am very sleepy.
Goodbye, Scrooge, buddy old pal.
Jacob Marley floats away, even though he walked in.
Now, along with being old, rich, and sleepy, Scrooge is also nervous.
Bah! I just want to sleep. When is this ghost going to get here anyway?
The ghost arrives. He is the ghost of Christmas past. He smells like a ghost.
Past walks onto the stage and points a long ghost finger at Scrooge.
It's time, Scrooge.
For what?
Not for what. For when?
And when is that?
The past.
The ghost of Christmas past does this thing where he shows Scrooge the way he was when he was a young boy. His boss was his dad because Scrooge just loved money that much. This ghost of Christmas past points at the scene. Scrooge watches himself as a child open a present on Christmas morning. The young Scrooge removes the wrapping paper to reveal a red fire truck. The young Scrooge screams because he hates his present. He loudly exclaims that he hates his present because it isn't money, not even a gift card. The young boy Scrooge knows that he'll never love anything as much as he loves money.
What do you think, present Scrooge?
Bah! That present stinks anyway. It's not even money. I'll never love anything as much as I love money.
That's enough, old man. Wait for the ghost of Christmas present and whatever the third ghost is.
Past points off stage and then walks there.
The ghost of Christmas past leaves because his time is up. He hates the present, but that's where he always is. Now, the ghost of Christmas present shows up.
Come with me, Scrooge, you old fart.
The ghost of Christmas present takes Scrooge to see Tiny Tim, who is watching his father, Big Bob, work on Christmas Day for Scrooge. Tiny Tim is telling all of Big Bob's co-workers about how small and sick he is. He is a sick, small little boy.
That is a very small boy.
If you don't change your ways, then that boy will always be tiny. You can use your money, your sweet, sweet money, to make that boy big with plastic surgery. But you refuse, Scrooge. All the boy wants for Christmas is to not be tiny anymore. You're so mean, Scrooge.
Bah?
You have one more ghost to change your ways.
What's the name of that ghost?
No one can remember his name. It's a very scary and stupid name. Goodbye, you sleepy old man.
The ghost of Christmas present leaves, suddenly with a lot of free time on his hands. Scrooge checks his watch, impatiently waiting for the third ghost.
Scrooge!
Bah!
I'm the third ghost, Scrooge.
What's your name?
My name is Gary. I'm here to take you to a Christmas that hasn't happened yet. What I mean is that it will be a Christmas in a year that comes after the year that we're currently in, and a not yet Christmas, if you will.
Scrooge nods politely.
Gary takes Scrooge to a later date. He shows Scrooge his own funeral.
How can this be my funeral? Where are all my adoring fans, all my employees, all my beautiful money?
Everyone hates you at your funeral, Scrooge. They barely even remember your name, which is Scrooge. Tiny Tim is there, and he is still small. Can't you see, Scrooge? Your love of money got you nothing. Nothing.
Bah! Now let me see my tombstone so I can spell check it.
Gary shows Scrooge his own tombstone.
No! No, it can't be!
That's right, Scrooge. Tiny Tim carved your tombstone. Since he is still so tiny, he couldn't even spell well.
It says Scrooge! My name isn't Scrooge, it's Scrooge! My name is Scrooge! I must change my ways! I hate Christmas less, I think. Money is only one of the things I like now.
Scrooge continues to scream as he wakes up from a dream. Snow is falling outside. A young boy rakes the leaves outside of Scrooge's house because Scrooge has always been a cheap, old, sleepy man. Scrooge wakes up to the smell of mistletoe and ghost. He wet his bed at one point during the night, probably because he was thinking about money and it got him so excited because he loves money.
Was it all a dream? Could it be? What's that smell?
Scrooge looks out the window and calls out to the young boy.
You boy, what day is today?
Why, sir, it's Christmas Day.
There's still time.
Scrooge runs through the town, trying to buy everyone's affection.
Hello, everybody! Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas, movie house! Merry Christmas, Emporium! Merry Christmas, you wonderful old building and loan! Hey! Merry Christmas, Mr. Potter!
Scrooge continues to run through the town, apologizing for being himself his whole life, and promising to be different for the very short amount of time he has left. Finally, Scrooge finds Tiny Tim.
You, tiny boy!
Well,
I'm a changed man. I'm not Scrooge. I tell you, I'm good now. I'll get you that plastic surgery you wanted. I'll use my money to buy you legs like mountains. I'll use my money to buy you a torso like a bull. I'll use my money to make your head like Arnold Schwarzenegger's big head. Why? With all my money, those plastic surgeons, they won't call you Tiny Tim anymore. No, they won't. They'll call you Not So Tiny Tim.
And they'll call you my new dad.
I suppose money can solve all your problems. I love money.
So do I. Yay! God bless us, everyone.
The end. Everyone take your first of 3 bows.
Well done.
Any general thoughts on the play from the actors? Would you say this is the truest adaptation of A Christmas Carol you've seen?
It's the only one I've seen.
Oh, you must have been very confused.
I knew the premise of it, but I've never seen or read anything Christmas.
Yeah. Yep. Well, that's the first of 3 plays. That was Christmas Carol. Okay, are you guys ready for our second play?
I think so.
Great performances, everybody. It was mesmerizing, really.
Thank you. Now tell me, who is this old man? Before we get started,
In the new one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what Steven is referring to, where the next play from the public domain is called "The Old Man and the Fish That He Just Had to Eat." It's based on the novel "The Old Man and the Sea" by Ernest Hemingway. That was first published in 1952 and entered the public. Sorry, I had a burp. Entered the public domain in 2012. Are you guys familiar with this story, The Old Man and the Sea?
I'm familiar with it. Never read it.
I've never heard of it.
Has anyone read it?
I've never read it.
It's a
Is this
very
most-
famous book. It's a
I
very
was supposed to
famous.
in high school, but I didn't.
You're supposed to read this one in high school? Do you think anyone reads
Yeah.
For Whom the Bell Tolls in high school?
I don't know. I'm not.
Is that Saved by the Bell?
That's what Saved by the Bell is based on, yeah.
What I
But they
thought.
replaced Franco's regime with that principle. That's always mad at them. Is that a part of Saved by the Bell? I don't remember. What's the guy's name? We'll get on with it after this. What's the guy's name? Squeaky? Squingy?
Squeaker.
Squeaker?
From what? Saved by the Bell? Never seen that either.
From Old Man in the Sea. Yeah. So you guys know what this is about, though.
No.
Hey,
And
little
the title is the description of the book.
You make some fair points.
It's an old man, and he goes out on the sea, and
Steven, don't spoil it for me.
Has anyone ever been to Cuba?
no, I'd love to.
Why don't we all?
I'm just gonna do a general old man accent.
Yeah, that's fine. Everyone just do what you think. So for this one, casting Liz, you're gonna be stage directions. Steven, you'll be the old man, Santiago. I will play the boy. Anthony, you are playing the Marlin. And Katie, you will be playing the sharks. And if you want, you can just use the same voice for all the sharks or switch it up. In my mind, sharks have the same voice. So, but it's switch it up to make it different. I think there's 3 sharks total.
Classic shark stereotyping.
Yeah, I know.
probably just
We're going to get canceled so hard for that.
You probably just
Talk about
typecasted Katie,
sharks.
didn't you?
Yeah.
She's always the shark.
a shark.
Never get another job. That's okay.
We're all very famous actors.
That's right.
Okay, Liz, you're doing stage directions whenever you're ready.
We enter on a Cuban shack. The wood on the walls is rotting, and the stove is rusting from underuse. The old man who lives there is very, very old, even older than you could imagine. He's got wrinkles all over his body, on every inch of him. His skin is bronzed by the heat of the hot ocean sun. He has a white beard, because with age his hair has lost its natural color. His hands shake quietly and incessantly as he eats some Cuban porridge that was brought to him by Meals on Wheels. Behind him on the walls hang trophy fish, big fish, little fish, fried fish, but noticeably, there's no marlin on his wall. The old man continues with his meal as the boy walks in, like he owns the place.
Hello, Santiago.
Hello, boy. Did you bring me a present?
I have some loose change if you'd like it.
Hand it over. How has your new boat been?
We catch a lot of fish, but they aren't as good as you.
They are too young, that's why.
I wish they were old farts like you. You're my favorite man on this earth. Besides, of course,
Joe DiMaggio. Joe DiMaggio used to be a fisherman.
Everyone knows that about Joe DiMaggio, the Yankee Clipper.
Once he had a day's haul that filled all of Yankee Stadium.
Yes, he learned how to swing a baseball bat by clubbing seals in his boat.
I love Joe DiMaggio. I memorize his baseball stats every day before I go out and catch no fish.
How many days have you been without catching?
84 days I've had this Saleo.
That's why my parents won't let me ride in your boat with you. You taught me how to fish so well that the men on my new boat are mean to me because they're jealous.
Whatever.
I'd love to fish with you again, but I have to listen to my parents because I'm not an old man yet.
You know, it's nice being an old man. My bones may hurt, but at least my kids never visit.
I see.
Time to go try and catch a fish for the first time in 84 days. Wish me luck.
Yep.
Scene 2. Santiago boards his skiff. It's a rickety boat where the wood is peeling off the sides. It hasn't been painted since Santiago was a young man, which was who knows how long ago. The boat has a large hole in it, so the longer Santiago rides the boat out into the Gulf, the more he sinks into its crystal waters.
Another day, another Saleo, which means unlucky. Yep, I have Saleo, and also I think out loud all through my lonely day at sea.
Santiago rides to his usual fishing hole. At his fishing hole, there's a sign that says, "Fish, stay away." Santiago put the sign there himself because he knew it would drive other fishermen away. Santiago thought that fish wouldn't be able to read the sign because they're largely illiterate. Now, he wonders if the fish have learned to read, and that's why they never nibble at the rusty hook at the end of his fishing pole. He built the fishing pole one night when lightning struck the only tree in Cuba. He took the wood from that tree, which was over 1,000 years old, and shaved it down to the size of a fishing pole. The old man dumped all the extra wood shavings into a reservoir. Now the old man has his old fishing pole, which gives him splinters on his old fingers every day of his life. He casts out into his normal fishing spot, and no fish bite.
Damn you, fish! I hate you! I hate you!
The old man cries, and his tears disappear into the vastness of the sea.
I just want to catch a fish. Is that so much to ask? Is it so much to ask to catch the biggest fish that anyone has ever caught before? Is it so much to ask that I am the only one who catches fish for the rest of history, even after I die? I just want to be the only fisherman, except for the great DiMaggio. I want to be best friends with Joe DiMaggio. Is that so much to ask? Where's my fish, huh?
Santiago gets a bite and reels it in. It is a tiny fish. Santiago looks at it the way old men look at change in society.
This fish will only do as bait. Yes, I will make this fish bait to catch more fish. I'm very glad that no one can hear me talking, or else they'd think I was crazy. Crazy man. I'm not crazy. I'm Joe DiMaggio, man.
Santiago decides that he is definitely not crazy. He casts his line with the small fish as bait. He waits for what feels like hours, but it's only a few seconds.
Oh, it's hopeless. I'd better reel in the line and just go kill myself. Wait!
The old man gets a bite.
A bite! A fish! A real fish!
Oh, I hope this is a marlin, because as everyone knows, a marlin is a big fish, and that's what I'd like to catch.
Santiago tries to reel the fish in, but it is strong and begins to pull even the boat.
Oh boy, my number is coming in today. I assume this fish is the biggest ever, because it's much stronger than me, an old man.
Santiago sees the massive fin of the fish.
It's a marlin! A marlin! You get in my boat, you marlin bastard!
The marlin comes up for air, looks at the old man, and says,
I'll never get in your boat.
Santiago and the marlin engage in an epic struggle to see who lives and who dies.
I'm gonna kill you, you old fart.
Not if I kill you first!
The old man shakes his fist angrily at the fish, but it doesn't see because it's underwater. The old man and the marlin struggle mightily. They pull and push one another. The boat races through the sea, pulled by the mighty fish. Santiago holds onto his pole, which is named Wonder Pole. Splinters from Wonder Pole dig into Santiago's brittle skin and make him cry with pain.
Owie!
You'll never catch me, old man.
I refuse to yield!
The old man and the fish struggle into the night. Dawn breaks, shining golden light down onto the calm waters, which break with mighty waves as the fish swims through, tugging Santiago and his skiff behind. The marlin is relentless, but so is Santiago. The old man wishes the boy could be there, so the boy could wrestle the mighty fish and wear it out. Even more so, the old man wishes the boy's parents were there, so he could gloat in their faces and try to adopt the boy and let the boy live a full-time life on the skiff. Even more than this, Santiago wishes he had a gun, with which he could shoot the mighty fish. He has heard that DiMaggio shoots fish, and that's how he developed his keen batter's eye. The old man loves the great DiMaggio. Dawn turns into morning, which turns into lunchtime, which turns into tea time, which turns into the Jewish Sabbath. The fish in Santiago still struggle on the high seas, the boat creaking under the weight, and it's still slowly sinking because of its hole. They continue to wrestle throughout the night, and through the next day and into that night, the next morning, Santiago is nearly ready to quit.
You better be as big as I think you are, fish.
I'm more fish than you can handle, old man.
I will defeat you, you fish bastard!
Santiago tugs at the line and pulls harder than any decrepit old man has pulled before. The fish gives slack and then leaps high into the air. Santiago sees the entire beauty of the fish, its sword-like beak, its many fins, its mighty gills, which struggle for breath as it soars through the skies. The fish crosses over the boat and over Santiago and casts a shadow over the old man and the boat. The fish crashes back into the raging waters, and Santiago crashes into the hull of the ship, but holds on to the mighty pole that was made out of the lightning-struck palm tree. The fish circles under the boat. The old man sees its shadow wade through the waters.
Come to Papa!
Santiago tries to wear the fish out. He pulls the line, and the fish only pulls slightly back. The old man pulls again and begins to bring the fish up near the crest of the water. The old man remembers that while he does not have a gun, which would be the best weapon for him to use against the massive fish, he has a harpoon. He grabs the harpoon, which he carved out of a tree that was not struck with lightning, and when he has the fish up near the surface, he stabs it in where he assumes the fish heart is. He hits the fish right in the mouth and uses all of his strength to hold it up to the side of the skiff. Santiago uses duct tape to hold the fish on the side of the boat.
I have vanquished you, beast!
So you have, old man. You are a noble opponent.
As were you, fish.
The old man and the fish hug and share a long embrace. In relief, Santiago sighs and looks out at the water. He has caught a real fish. People will always remember him as the only person to catch a fish. He got what he asked for. He grabs 2 oars and starts rowing back to the island nation of Cuba.
Well, fish, it looks as if this tale is over.
Yes, old friend. Hey, do you feel something nibbling at you?
No?
Hmm.
What?
Oh, it's nothing.
You can tell me.
It's just,
What?
did you put any duct tape over my harpoon wound?
No, I didn't feel like it.
So my blood is just pouring out into the ocean?
I don't know. It's your blood. You tell me.
So I guess these sharks are eating me.
Damn you, fish!
Santiago races to the side of the boat, which is right next to him because it's so small. He sees a great white shark going to town on the marlin.
Hey, stop that!
The shark meets its eyes with the old man.
I'm going to eat this fish because I'm so hungry. This is my final meal before I'm executed by the shark governor.
What's your crime?
Being the most evil shark ever. Nom nom nom.
Hey, stop it, foul beast!
Make me.
Santiago grabs a harpoon and stabs at the shark.
Take this, shark bastard!
Oh, you want to kill me with a harpoon? Fine, but how are you going to kill 3 sharks?
What?
Come on, boys!
The shark calls over 2 shark buddies, and then they all try to eat the marlin, who is in anguish.
The pain! Make it stop, old man, make it stop!
Hey, stop pressuring me!
Santiago harpoons one of the sharks and stabs its eye out.
How can I eat if I can't see?
The shark with only one eye dies. Santiago goes for the next shark. He harpoons it in the heart.
My heart! How can I eat it if I got my heart stabbed?
The 3rd shark explodes. Now, only Santiago, the marlin, and the 1st shark remain. All in all, it's been an uneventful 45 seconds. Santiago holds the harpoon high in his hand and motions to drive the sea spear through the shark.
Fine. You win, old man. I'll leave. Too bad there's none of your fish left.
The shark swims away to go back to his trial, and Santiago looks down at the biggest fish ever, the thing that will make him famous, that will place his name in the Guinness Book of World Records forever as the world record holder for greatest fisherman ever. The fish that he sees, duct taped to the side of the boat, it just bones.
Fishy, no!
Old man, I'm dying.
Stay with me, buddy!
My time is up.
What? You were going to make me the most famous and only fisherman of all time!
There's still time, old man. Just get the rest of my bones back to Cuba, which is where I assume you're from.
You were noble, you fish bastard!
As were you, my friend. As were you.
The marlin dies, and all that is left is bones. The old man rows back to Cuba, which is only a couple thousand miles away. He brings the fish to shore, goes to his shack, and finally falls asleep for some rest. Scene 3. The boy creeps into the shack, hoping not to wake the old man.
Hey, wake up, old man.
Huh? What? I was having the most wonderful dream. I dreamt that Joe DiMaggio was my son.
The fish you caught. They're measuring it now. It's huge and you'll be famous.
How long did the men say it was?
I don't know. 1,000,000 miles long?
And how much did it weigh?
I don't know. Something like 1,000,000 pounds.
And how much of it was bones?
Every part of it. But that's no matter. They've already built a Cuban Fishing Hall of Fame and put the fish bones in there along with Joe DiMaggio himself. Your Saleo is over. You're lucky again, you old man, you.
And will your parents let you fish with me again?
My parents are dead now.
Wonderful, boy. Wonderful.
The play ends.
Great.
Woo,
That
okay.
was good.
Even your old man voice is great.
I loved it.
One of my first lines, I just like accidentally did like a Boston accent, and then I just had to stick with it.
It really came together like the first time you said, you fish bastard. It was like perfect for those lines. Yeah, you really gave it a voice. Everyone was great on that one.
That's good.
Yeah, that's so. I'm sure that'll make it to the stage.
Absolutely.
Whew, well, that was a ride. We have one more play to read, to table read for today. This one is called The Ugly, Ugly Monster of Dr. Frankenstein. It's based on Frankenstein or The Modern Prometheus by Mary Shelley, first published in 1818, and it entered the public domain in 1931. So for this one, Katie is going to be stage directions and townsperson number 2 and the little girl. So the difference between those two roles is one of them has the voice of a small girl, one of them has the voice of an adult woman.
Okay.
So that's just because townsperson is unclear. I'm going to be Dr. Victor Frank. Oh, and Katie, you'll be a part of the mob when that comes, but everyone besides Steven is a part of the mob. So I'll be Dr. Victor Frankenstein and a part of the mob. It has 2 different roles, but that'll be clear. Anthony, you'll play Igor, and you'll be townsperson number 3, who is an adult male, and you'll be in the mob. Where are we? Steven, you're the monster.
That's right.
The ugly, ugly monster. And that's your only role because you're in every part. So, and then Liz, you'll be townsperson number 1 and in the mob. Is that right? I guess so. So you're an adult woman, and I think I talked to you about that part already. You'll get there. You'll know what part I'm talking about. I mean, so this is The Ugly, Ugly Monster of Dr. Frankenstein. So Katie, whenever you're ready.
Scene 1. Enter on the secret laboratory of Dr. Victor Frankenstein. He fiddles with dials and levers and yells at his trusted assistant, Igor.
Igor, pull that lever.
Yes, master.
You give me that attitude again and I'll beat you good.
Igor does as he is told, fearful of his master beating him up. Igor pulls a lever, which lifts up the table that holds the monster. We see him strapped in with a bag over his head.
Do you understand what's happening, Igor? Of course you don't, you silly little man. Well, I'll tell you. We're about to create life. Life itself, you dullard.
Will the monster be pretty, master?
What kind of stupid question is that? Of course, the monster will be beautiful. I told you that we're making a beautiful monster so you can marry him.
But I don't want to.
Enough! You're obnoxious, you grotesque jerk. I'll show you, and I'll show that professor who told me I couldn't manifest life into the body parts of the most beautiful people who ever lived. The barrel chest of Marlon Brando, the skull of James Dean, the legs of Cleopatra. Yes, I'll show that professor who's crazy.
Yes, master.
Now, Igor, pull that lever.
Igor pulls another lever, and lightning cracks, making a deafening sound. The stage goes black for a moment, then light slowly returns. The monster lifts a finger, and then...
It's alive! It's alive, Igor! Undo the bonds!
But...
I said do it, or I'll give you such a spanking.
Igor undoes the bonds of the monster, and the monster immediately murders Igor.
Ah! Oh boy.
The monster turns to its creator. It tries to look and realizes it has a bag over its head.
Yes, remove the bag, my creation, so I can behold your beauty.
The monster slowly removes the bag off of its head to reveal the ugliest thing you've ever seen in your life.
Oh no, it's all wrong. It's all wrong. You're not beautiful. You're ugly. So ugly, very, very ugly. You're so ugly it hurts. I mean, really, I'm in physical pain because of your butterface. Oh, this will not do. Oh, no. I guess I'll have to start over.
Victor grabs a gun and raises it to shoot his creation dead, but the monster swats at the gun and sends it flying.
I see. Well, I really do have somewhere to get to, so I suppose I'll see you around. Goodbye.
Victor rushes off stage to avoid his problem.
Bye.
The monster's first word is an ironic one.
What? Me?
The monster looks in a conveniently placed mirror in the laboratory.
Me am beautiful.
He wipes the steam off the mirror and sees more clearly.
Oh, Me am below average.
The monster stomps his way out of the laboratory and finds his way to the front door of the castle. He exits and heads towards the nearby village. The townspeople notice the monster because it's so big and hideous.
Dear God, what the hell is that?
That's the worst thing I've ever seen, and I'm a midwife.
Let's get out of here, Denise.
The monster frowns, disappointed in his ability to make first impressions. He trudges on to find a scared man who notices how ugly the monster is. The scared man tries to stab the monster with a knife, but the monster stomps on the scared man out of defense. The monster's foot becomes goopy, and he continues on, still friendless. He gets to a river, and there's a tiny canoe of nuns paddling across. The monster doesn't know what a nun is, but he assumes they'll be friends with him because he is naive. He swims out to meet them, but when he tries to get in the boat, he topples it over, making the nuns splash into the water. He comes out on the other side of the river, not understanding why he's so wet. He stumbles upon an innocent little girl who is playing with flowers. Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas loves me? Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas loves me not. Supreme Court Justice Clarence. The little girl sees the monster, who is intrigued by the flower. Maybe you should take a picture. It'll last longer.
What am? Picture?
You're impossible. I hate you. The little girl runs away, leaving behind her flower. The monster picks it up and holds it lovingly in his hand.
This am flower.
The monster eats the flower. It's probably poisonous, but he is such a freak, it probably doesn't matter. The monster stomps on to find a couple of nearby houses on the countryside. He sneaks up behind a house that appears to be abandoned, based on the boarded windows and the spray-painted words, abandoned, on the front of the house. The monster eavesdrops into the neighbor family's conversation because he doesn't know that's rude yet.
Well, what's for supper tonight?
I'm afraid it's pretend food again.
Rats.
Mommy, I want to pretend to eat caviar.
Honey, we can't afford pretend caviar. You have to make do with pretend tilapia.
The monster likes this family for no reason. They are a very boring family, but the monster has no way to know that.
Monster love family.
The monster decides to squat in the abandoned house. He doesn't know about squatters' rights per se, but it obviously comes naturally to him. The monster eavesdrops into the neighbor family's conversation every day, trying to understand their language. Whenever they talk, he quietly repeats after them, trying to master his own use of the language.
What did you do today, honey?
Nothing. Leave me alone.
Leave me alone.
Why won't you tell me?
Can you get off my back, Linda?
Off back, Linda.
Gerald, I know you're sleeping with that whore from your office.
Sleep with whore.
The monster's English slightly improves. Over time, though, the monster grows lonely in his abandoned home. He tries to draw a face on a bag of cornmeal so he can have company, but that only makes him more hungry. Soon, a different kind of hunger develops for the monster.
Monster am horny.
The monster has an insatiable urge, just like the rest of us, but his is so bad that he's about to explode, and he knows that no self-confident person would be willing to sleep with him. The monster has an idea. He will have to find his creator, Dr. Victor Frankenstein. The monster finds Dr. Frankenstein in the first place he looks, which is Bermuda. The monster corners Victor and forces him to listen to a story.
Monster leave castle. Pretty women. Mean monster. Massacre nuns. Monster eat flower. Monster exercise squatters' rights. Monster best friends. Don't know he exists. Monster am horny.
What a remarkable story.
Monster am horny.
Hey, man, I don't know what you want me to do about it. I could try to set you up, but no self-confident woman would be willing to sleep with you.
Monster, know that.
Well, what do you want me to do?
You help monster with horny.
Yeah, I would, but you're so ugly.
Creator build wife monster.
No, that's completely unethical. I mean, making you was unethical, but I did that out of spite. I would need some very convincing motivation to make you a monster wife.
The monster pulls a gun out of his trench coat.
This convince enough?
Okay, just take it easy, man. I'll build you a woman. Wouldn't it be the first time, right?
Victor gets to work on building a wife for the monster. He makes her beautiful, but for some reason gives her Marge Simpson here. After excruciating work, the lady monster is ready.
Well, monster, it's been a grueling 6 hours, but I think we're ready to animate life into this catcher's mitt of a wife. Yep, once we get this sack of dead bones pumping some blood, you can sex her up good. How does that sound, monster? Super. Hey, what's that?
Victor reaches into the monster's trench coat and pulls out a carton of Lucky Strike brand cigarettes.
What is this, monster? Cigarettes? Are you kidding? You're smoking?
Monster just need take edge off.
I can't believe this! You're smoking? Which means you're blowing smoke all over the place, and people have to secondhand smoke off you. You've probably killed dozens, if not millions, of people by now with these death sticks.
Is no big deal.
It is a big deal, monster. I knew you were a monster, but I didn't know you were a smoker.
Give monster back cigarette. Make wife now.
I can't animate this woman now. You'll turn her into a smoker. Why, you could end up creating a whole race of smoking monsters. You'll decimate the entire human population with your secondhand smoke. I can't let that happen.
Victor takes the pieces of the wife's body and tosses them into a conveniently placed dumpster.
Well, glad that's over.
Creator kill wife.
Well, I didn't kill her. I just never brought her to life in the first place. You know, backing out of the deal we had. You know, the deal we had where you said if I made you a wife, you wouldn't murder me in cold blood. That deal. So don't worry, man. It's all good.
Monster am vengeful.
Whatever.
Monster kill creator.
Oh, boy.
Victor runs away, fearful.
Monster kick creator ass.
Not if I kick yours first, you ugly smoker.
The monster gives chase, and they run all the way to the North Pole. The monster finally catches his creator. He grabs him and holds him in the air.
I kill you.
Victor falls violently.
What is monster not killed creator yet? Why creator dying?
It's my lungs, monster.
Creator lungs.
Monster, I never told you this, but I'm a smoker.
No.
That's right. I was so harsh with you because I felt so guilty about the millions of people I killed with my secondhand smoke.
Creator die.
I think it's pretty clear that that's what's happening right now. But hey, we had a good run, didn't we?
Yes, did.
See? You get it. Just promise me one thing, monster.
What is anything for creator? Monster love creator.
Just promise me you'll forgive me.
For what?
Well, back at the village, I may have told some people that there was a monster to kill, and Well, they started forming a mob. You know, the whole deal with pitchforks and torches and chants.
Mob. Want. Kill? Monster?
See? You get it.
But monster never hurt anybody.
Well, what about that man you stepped on?
Was accident.
And all those nuns you drowned?
Monster not understand water.
And I guess, in a sort of roundabout way, you're to blame for your wife's death.
Monster am remorseful.
But no, I agree. You don't deserve whatever the mob is going to do to you. And the bad news is, I just saw them over the horizon.
Monster scared.
That's an appropriate response. Hey, maybe it's the death talking, but you don't look so bad here, with the snow gleaming off of your face.
Don't die, Creator.
I'll be fine. I mean, I will die, but you know what I mean? Now, when the mob comes, I want you to wait until they stop to do one of their chants. And then go hide in that windmill over there. Okay?
Why windmill? At North Pole?
Stop asking stupid questions. Anyway, this is the end for me. Goodbye, sweet prince.
Victor breathes his last and evaporates into the northern winds. The monster holds in his hands only Victor's parka and Speedo. These are things he will cherish forever, and for only 10 minutes or so if the mob murders him. The mob closes in, as Victor said they would, with their pitchforks and torches and chants.
Hey,
Hey,
ho, ho,
Ho, ho.
this monster freak has got to go. Hey, ho, ho,
Ho, ho.
this monster freak has got to go.
This bad mob has organized. Must flee to windmill.
He's trying to get away.
Can't do that. We want to catch him.
Exactly.
But you am best friend.
I've never met you. Besides, my best friend is named Alan Golding, and he is twice the man you'll ever be.
Monster must run.
He's trying to get away. We better do another chant.
Good idea.
2, 4, 6, 8.
Killing
Killing the monster would be really great.
Great.
2, 4,
4,
6, 8. Killing the monster would be really great.
Great.
The monster runs for the wooden windmill. He rushes inside and locks the door behind him. He then runs to the top and looks out at the enclosing crowd. He sees the fiery torches in their hands.
Monster am safe as long as wood am not flammable.
What do we want?
To murder the monster!
When do we want it?
As soon as humanly possible!
Oh.
The mob reaches the windmill. The monster pees his pants out of fear, though he would never admit that.
Leave monster alone.
Are you kidding? This is the only exciting thing that has ever happened in our miserable lives. We're not just going to let you go free.
Yeah, you never done anything to us, so why do you think you deserve to live?
Murder, murder, murder.
The mob sets the torches to the windmill.
Is this end for monster?
The mob quiets for a moment. What's wrong?
Just give me a second.
What's the holdup? Just burn the monster alive and let's go back to farming or whatever we probably do.
I'm trying to set the windmill on fire, but it's not working.
Why isn't it working?
Let me try. Another villager tries to light the windmill on fire. They also come up empty. The thing won't light.
Why do you think that is?
I guess wood isn't flammable.
Well, how are we going to kill the monster then?
I left my gun at home.
You do that every time.
Sorry.
My only idea for what to do next is to give up.
I also had that idea.
All right, monster, it's your lucky day. You're lucky we're too lazy to come up that single flight of stairs and murder you.
Yeah, I'm not climbing stairs.
No one is climbing stairs today, okay?
Monster, am safe.
Just stop being a monster, okay? How hard is that?
Monster, owe you life debt.
No, you don't get it. You won't be a monster anymore. Just stop being a monster. Stop being scary. Stop being murderous.
Monster will find better outlets than murder.
All right, let's get the hell out of here.
The mob drops all of their weapons and begins the long voyage home. The monster takes a long sigh of relief. He feels so stressed, so he takes out his carton of cigarettes. He goes to light one and then remembers what his creator said. He thinks of the second-hand smoke and how many people he might kill if he smokes. Then the monster looks around. There's no one else at the North Pole for miles at least. In the distance, a glacier quivers and slides forward just by inches. Something crashes beyond a distant shore, and the monster sees an incredibly massive whale break the surface. He sees the fans of the windmill turn, and he feels the cool breeze of the Arctic Circle. Creation is in motion all around him. He feels one with it, alone with it. And with that in mind, the monster enjoys a long drag from his cigarette. He blows the smoke out. It rises above him and vanishes into the cold air. He takes another drag, more confidently this time, and doesn't worry about anything being around to breathe in his smoke. For once, the monster isn't hurting anybody. End of play.
Yeah, you probably thought there would be a joke at the end. No. Yep. That's it.
Lovely stuff.
Wow. Any thoughts about anything from the actors? Who? About anything. Doesn't even have to relate to the place.
Somebody came in, I think it's my roommate, came in during the part where it's like, they're going to make a wife, and it's just really awkward.
Oh, I didn't know. Well, that's the end. That's all three plays. We had A Christmas Carol minus the singing, The Old Man and the Fish that he just had to catch, and The Ugly, Ugly Monster of Dr. Frankenstein. So I guess for our listeners or viewers that they can keep an eye on these things when they'll be performed live on stage.
Hello.
Yeah, that's... We should have clapped after everyone. I'll just insert this clapping. Steven, clap. Steven, is he frozen?
Yeah.
All right, well, with that, we can call it. Thank you, everybody. Thank you to our actors, Liz Stewart, Stephen Marcus, Katie Corbin, Anthony Furno, and myself, Bo Segrest. Thank you to the listeners, and have a pleasant evening or night.